Hey everybody. Hi, welcome back. My name's Chris, and this is Daily Reflections with Chris. And for those of you who are new to this channel, or maybe you just fell upon it, um, or maybe you never seen it before, my name's Chris, and I'm in recovery from alcoholism. And I started this YouTube channel. It's called Daily Reflections with Chris, in which I read out of this book, Daily Reflections, kind of as a guide or to keep me kind of in check a little bit about sharing my experience, strength, and hope with you guys. Give us something to talk about that's just not all over the place, right? So I decided last year sometime that I would start this channel, that I would use this book as my guide to talk to you a little bit about my experience with not only active addiction, alcoholism, but also recovery from alcoholism and active addiction. So let's get started. Today is January the 1st. So for everybody, Happy New Year's. Maybe a lot of y'all are still in New Year, New Me. Maybe y'all just think it's just a continuation of last year. Hopefully it was a good one. Mine was. Mine was a good year. A lot of reparations of damage, right? Not particular damage that, maybe damage is a strong word, but not particularly things that I had done to hurt others, but things that I had to rely upon from the previous year, right? Because I was 6 months without work, and then my mom died, and it was really hard for me to get up and get moving and get going again. So I borrowed a lot of money. Well, people lent me money, right? Paid my rent, paid my light, bought me food to eat. And last year, one of my goals was, man, if I can't do anything else, I want to be able to pay all these people back. And I worked hard. I worked tirelessly. And I didn't feel so tired, right? Because I really, really wanted to do it. There's something about really, really wanting to do something that takes the tired out of it. But nonetheless, I was very busy last year, and I got that goal checked off. So in that area of my life, I checked it off. I used to think that man, every year I would say, this is a year I'm gonna pay everything, every single thing that I owe. I'm gonna pay it all. I'm gonna pay all my toll bills. I'm gonna pay all my credit cards. I'm gonna pay all this, and I'm gonna pay all that, and la la la. And I would just make this really, really big, almost unachievable goal in my head. And September would come around, October, be like, man, I'm not quite done. I barely even started. So last year I just made it one goal. I'm gonna pay my personal relationships, my friends, my family, those people who were there for me, who were able enough to help me. I mean, my rent's not cheap. I eat a lot, so it wasn't cheap to kind of to help me, right? So I made that my one goal for last year, is to be able to pay all my personal relationships if I owe them, whether it be $5, $10, $20, you know, bigger quantities than that. That I was gonna do that. That's what my main goal was, and I put some effort into it, and I got it done little by little. Sometimes I had to be like, hey, I didn't make. I mean, I got COVID. I didn't work for 2 weeks, for a week and a half when I had COVID, and I lost money there, and other things happened, and but I got it done. I got it done by the grace of God. So I'm really, really grateful that I was able to do that. For this new year, the word has not come to me. I think last year was a lot of growth, personally, financially, emotionally, spiritually. I learned to be different in areas of my life that I didn't quite know that, or realize that I needed changing. And I was still undisciplined in very many ways. And I got to work on that, and I get to experience the results of just changing little things here and there to not only improve my life personally, but improve the lives of those around me, right? Because whether we're in addiction or not, or we affect other people, even if it's just your roommate, even if it's just your dogs. Our decisions affect other people, whether we believe it or not. I mean, I'm single. I say I used to say I can do whatever I want. Ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing. Yeah, you do whatever you want, Chris, but you don't show up to work. So now you're affecting, when I was drinking, I would drink all my money away. I wouldn't pay my rent. I wouldn't pay my light. I wouldn't, and back then I did have a family. I would bring bananas because they were the cheapest and that's what we would eat. And, that tires people out. That tired, my family out, and they eventually they left. They left because I was making many decisions based on self, not even caring what other people thought or wanted. So I'm so grateful that I got to work a little bit more on that, and I got to refine, right? Refine. Am I perfect? No. Is there more work to be done? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a few more things to work on, and I'm grateful for that because I know that where I am right now is not where I'm gonna stay. Oh, I'm in a good place, so I just want you to know I'm in a really good place. But I do have this aim higher attitude. I do have this aim higher desire within me. There's something within me that always wants not more like gluttony. Not gluttony, but I want like better things for myself, better things. I have a beautiful apartment, but would I like to own my own home? Yes. So that stuff like that is what I work towards. So there's definitely a sense of more in my life. So I know that, like for example, we had just had a freeze. All I had to do was let the water run in and open the cabinets and set the heater like over 75, right? And people who own homes have to actually go out there, wrap the pipes. If they have horses, they gotta bring them in. If they have animals, they gotta bring them in. They have to create shelter, stuff like that, right? So I know that if that's what I want, then that's what there must be change within me to be able to get there, right? Okay, so anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about our topic today, okay? Today is January the 1st, and thank you for your time, folks. I know that, I don't know if you're listening to early in the morning. It's about 8 o'clock here where I live, so it's not too early, but it took me a minute to wake up because I went to bed at 3, right? So anyway, so let's keep going. Today is January the 1st, and today's title, the title of our entry is called I Am a Miracle. The central fact of our lives today is the absolute certainty that our Creator has entered into our hearts and lives in a way which is indeed miraculous. He has commenced to accomplish those things for us, which we could never do by ourselves. And that's out of Alcoholics Anonymous, the big book, page 25. This truly is a fact in my life today and a real miracle. I always believed in God, but could never put that belief meaningfully into my life. Today, because of Alcoholics Anonymous, I now trust and rely on God as I understand Him, right? I am sober today because of that. Learning to trust and rely on God was something I could never have done alone. I now believe in miracles because I am one. So everything that I talked about previously, I hadn't really read this. Mostly because when I read it, when I do this, I do it kind of with the intention as in a meeting setting, right? If I was in a meeting, I don't know what they're gonna talk about. They bring up a topic, and then it's like, all right, your turn. You share, right? So it's kind of like you're on point, right? You're on the spot, should I say? So everything that I shared with you before I read this, I had no clue that it had a little to do with what the topic was, right? So, before I came here, before I got into recovery, before I gave it a chance, for those of you who know my story, I didn't get into recovery because I wanted to get in recovery. I didn't get into recovery because I thought I had a problem with my drinking. I didn't get into recovery because I was tired of hurting my family. I mean, that's why I stayed in recovery, but that's not why I came to recovery. I came into recovery because I had a little paper from the courts, from the law that told me that I had a problem and that I need to get this little paper signed that says that Chris Contreras attended, 2 meetings or two 12-step recovery meetings a week, right? So that's how my journey started. It was not by my own choice, but by the grace of God. Yes, it was my choice to drink a lot that night. It was my choice to go out and eat and stay out late. It was my choice to get all high on smoking pot. It was my choice to drive home drunk and fall asleep at the wheel. And then after that, it was my choice to still not see that as, hey, Chris, you have a problem. I got in a car accident. I could have killed myself. I could have killed my passenger. I could have killed those around me. It was a pretty horrible accident, and how I survived that, I will never ever know. I didn't have not one scratch, not one broken bone. My passenger, she hurt her little pinky because she was trying to break the glass to get out. Because we weren't on fire, but the vehicle was smoking, right? Because it was a pretty horrific accident, and so we both got out of there walking, and all of that was my choice, right? But coming into recovery was not something that I thought of on my own. I need the help of others, people outside me to be like, hey, dude, like, you're gonna go recovery, or you're gonna kill yourself, you're gonna kill somebody, or we're gonna lock you up, because this is a problem. This habitual. This is a problem here. And back then, Mothers Against Drunk Driving were really, really strong, and I agree with that. I get it, why they were as strong as they were. Their children innocently getting killed by drunk drivers. And that could easily be me, right? Either way, I could have been killed or anyway. Let's not get too heavy into that. But that's what brought me into recovery. So did I trust the program right away? No. Did I trust what they were saying? Not really. But the longer that I stayed, I realized that something was happening. Something was seeping in. Even though I wasn't paying attention, I was just coming to drink the coffee and eat the donuts and take a break. I just wanted to take a break from the outside world, because after that 1 hour that I would spend in a meeting, or an hour and a half, to the whole time me sitting, I was like, yes, I get to just relax for 1 hour. I'm gonna eat donuts because I hadn't eaten all day, and I'm just gonna drink some coffee because I was just thirsty, and that's all I had to drink was coffee and donuts and eat, and that would be my meal for the day sometimes, right? But it was my little reprieve, my little I just want to get away for 1 hour from the world outside of me, the world that's so chaotic, the world is just full of drama, the world where the cops are looking for me, the world where the drug dealers are looking for me, the world where I owe everybody money, the world where I don't have any hope, the world where I don't fit nowhere, because nowhere where I went, I wouldn't fit anywhere. I just didn't feel like I was like other people, man. There was something really different about me. And for 1 hour, I got to just sit there. And I got to justify it with that card and be like, look, I have to be here. And they would just let me sit here and be like, okay, well, he's probably not going to stay sober, right? He's probably just getting his paper signed. But we just don't know. So they would sign my paper and tell me, keep coming back, Chris, keep coming back. And one thing they said to me that always sticks with me all the time, even when it's dark in my mind, even when I'm very emotional, even when my bank account's in the negatives, I always remember one thing that they told me in my very, very first meeting. In my very, very first meeting, they told me, Chris, you never have to drink again if you didn't want to. And I was like, what? I never have to drink again if I don't want to? And for the first time, I'd never heard that before. I'd never heard that. I heard things like, oh, come on, just one. Oh, you're boring. You're boring if you don't drink. All this, all that. And, I felt pressure from those around me to look like them, to act like them, to be like them. And to me, as a young kid, I swore I'd never drink. I swore I'd never smoke pot. I swore, man, I just wanted to get up and go, because I saw how alcoholism and drug addiction was affecting my life even as a kid. You know, watching my mom getting beat up every night, that wasn't easy. And I kept telling myself, I'm never going to be that person. I don't want to be that person. And I don't want to live that life. I don't want to have that lifestyle. Yet, here I am at 25, 26, 27, being that exact same person and living that exact same life and not knowing how to get out of it. As a matter of fact, it came to a point where I was like, okay, I tossed my hands up and said, you know what? If this is the way my life is going to be, if this is how I'm going to just die like this, then I give up. I give up. I had no more fire left in me. And I think that it was that cry out to God. I didn't even really understand God at that time, but it was that cry out to the heavens that eventually brought me into Alcoholics Anonymous. I mean, yeah, it was other stuff too, but I could have died in that car accident. I could have never made it. I could have kept on drinking. I mean, there's so many things that could have happened, right? But because of this 12 steps, it says right here, I'm a miracle. I don't take that lightly. Many people have died in the past few months from this stuff. People who are very, very popular, they talk about them for weeks, trying to figure out what happened, what was wrong with them. Man, I get that. But there's people in my life, my friends, my coworkers that die of this stuff. Some people never made it to a program of recovery. And some people came and said, never mind, I don't want this. And there's still people who stayed, who are still giving it the go, even in the hard days, even when nothing seems like it's going to get better, even when they don't understand anything we say in meetings. They keep on coming back. They keep on going because of that one simple sentence, that one simple line of hope. It says you never have to drink again if you don't want to. And I tell that to everybody I see. And later on, in my recovery, they told me I never have to drink again, even when I do want to. And I think, man, it just keeps getting better and better. Even if I don't want to, I don't have to. Even if I want to, I don't have to. Yeah, that's... Okay, tell me more about it and tell me how. And that's what they did. They gave me a program with 12 steps in it and a bunch of prayers and a bunch of suggestions and a bunch of stories on how other people did it. And that's why, it just, for me, it just, man, I cannot put into words how grateful that I am right now. There's so much more that I could talk about on this topic about how I came to understand a God that I didn't even know, a God that I thought that was for you but not for me. Like he loved you because you're straight and rich and white and blah 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 blah, but that he could never love somebody like me because I'm homosexual, I'm Mexican, I'm broke. I dropped out of high school. I have, sex before marriage. I was doing all these things that they said if I did them that I would go to hell, and I felt like, well, I've already done them all. God's not gonna use somebody like me. God cannot use somebody like me. And therefore, why would God bless me? Why would God keep me around? Why would God save me if he cannot do nothing with me? And here I learned that it was all for me too. That it was all for me too, folks. I talk a lot about the big book because the big book is our basic text. It's what we use. It's what we use for recovery. I mean, that's before anything else. It was that. It was the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And then there was other things, right, that were not AA, was Oxford group stuff, church stuff, Christian stuff, Bible stuff, before they created the big book. But after that, Bill W., he wrote this book. It's called The 12 and 12. Sorry if I got blurry for a second. My battery's running out. But he wrote this book. It's called The 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. And it wasn't here when I read about coming to believe in a higher power greater than me. In step 2, where it said, and this could be for you too. And this could be for you too. Over and over, it tells me this could be for you too. In other words, is for the first time in my life, not only did I hear that I didn't have to drink anymore if I didn't want to, but they said, hey, you know what? God's for everybody, man. I had to really, really work on that. Learning to trust a God that I wasn't even sure. I wasn't even sure about. So we're going to talk about more about that in the second and third month. We are in the beginning. Right now we're going to talk about a lot of step 1, but you know, for today, I think it's apropos that the topic is I'm a miracle. I'm a miracle. If you're alive and you're listening to this, even if it's January the 2nd, even if it's October the 1st, maybe it's 2027 now, you know, whenever you hear this, if you're watching this, you're a miracle. You're a miracle. A lot of people died last night. However, they did not wake up, you know, whatever happened, they died and they didn't wake up this morning. However, I did and you did. So we still got a shot. We still have a shot, folks. I'm going to go to work right now. Things are going to happen. People are getting, you know, they might bug me or something, whatever. But I have the tools now. If I want, I can use them. And if I don't, I can go get drunk and do whatever, right? But all I can say is give yourself a shot, man. Give yourself a shot. Keep tuning into this station, or maybe get another station, something that works for you. I mean, there's so much stuff up there. I mean, I listen to Christian music. Sometimes when I'm in a kind of funky mood, I put some real ratchet rock and roll because I just want to say F it, but I'm not. And music is my favorite thing to do. I love to listen to music, play music, or read music. I'm not a musician. Well, I am. I used to be, but I'm not actively playing anything right now. But anyway, pick something that works for you, man. Pick a channel, pick a station, pick the music, pick the books, pick the 12-step program, pick your church. I mean, you get to choose right now today. Who are you gonna hang out with today? Who are you gonna spend your life with? Are you gonna spend your life with people just bringing you down, or are you gonna spend your life with people that are gonna lift you up and make you stronger, give you a chance, man? Folks, you only got one life. One life. And when I knew that, like when it sunk in so deep that it's like, crap. God, lovers will come and go. Teachers are you're gonna graduate from high school, you're gonna graduate from school, and all your teachers will be you can't reach them much anymore. I mean, jobs are gonna come and go, cars are gonna come and go, where you live is gonna come and go, but you will always be the same, and everywhere you go, that's where you will be. You might as well have a good time. You might as well make the best of it. Hey, here's an idea. How about living a sober life? Oh God, I can't. For people like me, a sober life is the best life. If you're normal and you just drink, hey, maybe you just need a little therapy, right? Hey, maybe you just need to go to church on Sunday. Who knows? Find what works for you and make your life your best life, whatever that is. I love you, folks. Thank you for your time. Your time is precious to me. I know that you could be tuning in to anybody else right now. I know that you've been listening to anybody else right now. I know that you could have said, forget this dude, like 12 minutes ago. But you stick around with me, and I just want to say thank you and Happy New Year. And we'll see you soon. Thank you.